Unit 5, Lesson 7, Student Example Number 1. This object is composed of two identical cylinders connected by a right rectangular prism. Each cylinder has a diameter of 18 centimeters and a height of 4 centimeters. The rectangular prism has a length 8 centimeters and square ends of side length 2 centimeters. Determine the surface area and volume of the object. Give your answer to the nearest whole number. Let's determine the surface area first. We have three objects. We have a cylinder and a cylinder. Both of them are identical. And we have our right rectangular prism in the middle. So we have 2 times the surface area of a cylinder, which is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. And we have the surface area of the right rectangular prism. However, the right rectangular prism has ends that meet up with the center of that cylinder. So we have to be careful here. This part right here that's underneath of this square end is not exposed. Same goes for the other side that we can't see right about here. So when we're calculating the surface area of this particular area, what we want to do is we're just going to look at the sides. So we have one side here, one on the back and one on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to add 4 times the area of each of those sides. And the area of just a rectangle, which is what this is length times width. Okay, we also have to take into account that when we calculated the surface area of these two cylinders, we included this little piece at the end that's covered. So what we have to do now is we have to subtract that little piece. So we're going to subtract 2 times, because there's one here and one here, the area of those ends, which they're squares, so it's just length times width. Substituting in what we know, the radius of that circle is half of its diameter, so the radius is 9 squared. Again, 9. And the height of that circle is 4. The length of each of these rectangular pieces is 8, and the width is 2. Subtracting 2 times for these two end pieces, the length and width of those are 2. Let's do some calculating. If we multiply out all of this stuff in the middle, we will get a value of 734.76. 8 times 2 is 16. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 734.76 is 1,469.52. 4 times 16 is 64. And 2 times 4 is 8, and we're subtracting that 8. If we take in our calculators 1,469.52 plus 64 minus 8, you will get an answer rounded to the nearest whole number of 1,526 centimeters squared, because we're talking surface area. So remember, when you're calculating the surface area of composite figures, you need to calculate the area of each face. Now, if those composite figures are attached to each other, we also have to subtract some areas that aren't exposed. Volume. The volume of a composite figure, we just take the volume of each of the individual components of it and add them up. So we have 2 cylinders. The volume of a cylinder is just the area of the base times its height. The area of the base of that cylinder, well, it's a circle, so it's pi r squared times the height. And then we have a rectangular prism. And once again, the area of any prism is just the area of the base, so length times width for this particular case, times its height. Fill in what we know. The radius of that circular bottom is just half of its diameter, so the radius is 9 squared, and the height is 4 again. For that rectangular prism in the middle, we have a length of 8, a width of 2, and a height of 2. If we take pi times 9 squared times 4 and multiply it all by 2 in our calculator, we will get a value of 2034.7, and 8 times 2 times 2 is 32. If we add all of that up, we will get rounded to the nearest whole number, 2068 centimeters was our unit, and cubed because we are talking volume.